Hey everybody, it's Twin Soul Poets. We are your go-to couple for love and relationship advice.
Dope spoken word poetry.
And uplifting content, but of course. Today we'll be reacting to the video called 7 Twin Flame Telepathic Connection, Signs, and Symptoms. And this video was uploaded by the channel called Higher Self, so definitely check them out. We are stoked to do this video because we've definitely had some telepathic experiences ourselves.
It's pretty weird ones.
What am I thinking right now?
You're thinking about donuts.
Oh my god.
Without further ado, let's jump into the video.
Did you know that twin flames can communicate telepathically?
Yes.
I did know this.
Yes. There are many different ways twin flames can do so. Regardless if they live far apart from each other or if one is not on this planet, they can still communicate telepathically. The gateway for telepathic communication between twin flames can be created simply when twin flames fully connect energetically. The powerful feelings of love come out of the vortex of their heart chakra. It is then through the opening of both the crown and heart chakra that allows them to fully engage into the telepathic connection with their twin flame.
This is a great pause point. We have actually a video about twin flame meditation where we explain a super powerful, and we'll pop that up maybe right here at the end. Definitely watch that video next because we talk about, I totally agree with that, heart and crown chakra opening.
Yes.
And intent. We had a really intense intent to connect with each other, long distance, like they said, and he was in Thailand, and we had this powerful experience. But definitely check out that video to get the story on that because it's
intention is big. It's interesting that this robot is from Boston.
It also brings them to a spiritual awareness as well. Here are the signs and symptoms of their telepathic bond. 1. Subconscious communication. Oftentimes, twin flames can finish each other's sentences or answer their question without them even asking out loud. They can hear each other's thoughts and know or feel what they are thinking at certain times as well. You will know that it is your twin when you hear a voice in your head that sounds exactly like them. 2.
You know, I would say like at least 50% of our communication is nonverbal. Do you think that?
For sure, I think. And I mean, I think to some degree, I think that's true with a lot of people. I think humans are just more telepathic than we realize, but especially when you have a very like intimate relationship with someone where there's like nothing hidden, it's like it just really.
But also emotionally, and that might be because like we're both Cancers or we're just both emotional people. But there are definitely times that I've been looking at you and just felt like I knew exactly what you were thinking.
It's boundaries can be hard.
It can be because I mean, if you're the same soul, there really isn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely important to distinguish the boundaries between you and your twin flame because that can feel blurred because you're so connected. So just learning how to know what's yours and what's theirs is really important.
Yeah.
Part of the journey, I think.
Because I will say navigating our relationship and like being married and living together, like when you're having a very emotional day like that, it's easy for that to affect me unless I'm very like intentional about, okay, like what can I do to be helpful, one, and also like do I need space myself and like making that responsibility my own rather than like, oh, you're making me feel like this.
Same.
Because I don't have boundaries.
Yeah, same. It's just a responsibility that you have to be willing to take on when you're in a twin flame dynamic, and a healthy one in general anyway for all of your relationships. So it really does serve you.
2. Sharing dreams. Twin flames can share each other's dreams and can communicate in these dreams as well.
Pause.
Yes.
On the dream thing because this is weird. Like we need to get back into dream journaling because we have definitely had many shared dream experiences where there was a time when we were like writing our dreams pretty consistently, and it would often happen where like I would be like, what was your dream? And I'd be like, I was in a school, and you were pregnant.
You were pregnant.
And da da da. And she would be like,
yeah,
I was in a school. And I was pregnant.
But it was like
And
our
then like her
elementary
mom
schools.
walked in. And was like,
Yeah, it's like, I had a dream
I
you
had
were
a
pregnant.
dream.
And I was like, shut up.
We have the same dream a lot, and we'll be in each other's dreams a lot.
Yeah.
Doing the same things. So that's
And so like a crazy story there. When Hamilton was in Thailand, I had a dream that you were super drunk, like crazy drunk, like stumbling, and I was helping you get home. And I remember being like really annoyed that you were so drunk, but I was like, I gotta help him. Like he's, we were just out in the streets in this like, I don't know, area I didn't recognize. And when I woke up, I was just like, I wonder if Hamilton got really drunk. And so, like, I think we Skyped maybe. I don't remember how we connected, but I asked you, Hamilton, did you get really drunk last night? Because this was the next day. And he says, yeah, I actually got really drunk. I don't really know how I got home. And I was like, oh my God. But the craziest part was that the time difference, I realized when I had gone to sleep, I had taken a nap in the afternoon. So the timing matched out to like,
yeah, while you were taking that nap,
difference.
It was like 11 hours ahead. It was in the afternoon for you, and so it was like 3 a.m. for me, and I was like blacked out. Like I really didn't know how I got home that night.
So I basically like walked you home. I mean, it was like an astral projection that like that telepathic connection that people always talk about with twin flames. Like I must have sensed that you were like not completely within your
that was
right
bad. That was like one of the only times that I was like
that drunk.
Just stupid in a stupid situation.
I think
I
that
usually kept my head on swivel over there.
Right. I mean, yeah, you were good about
so
being
thanks
aware
for
of
helping me
Thailand.
get home.
You're welcome. That was really cool, and it just shows that how much you're connected, and especially if you sense that your twin flame like needs help or is in peril or something, you're definitely going to pick up on that. And I think same for really like positive emotions too.
Yeah. So that was like kind of a dream, but it was also kind of like not a dream because happening. You were like sort of seemed like you were actually there somehow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wild.
3. Have the same flaws. They may share the same flaws. For instance, even if one twin has worked on their flaws as part of their spiritual journey, the other twin usually hasn't done this yet, so they can see their old flaws still present in them. These
we don't have any flaws. Pass. Next.
I'm mad at this one.
To some degree.
This one is exposing. This one is, I feel exposed. No, this is true in a lot of ways. I think that this is something that is both challenging and also creates the really fast track of personal growth in twin flame relationships is this dynamic of like you tend to kind of have the same challenges, and so there's not a lot of people think of like soulmate relationships, we balance each other so well. It's like it's not really like that. We're just kind of reflecting in the twin flame dynamic, and so like my challenges are always going to be mine to fix.
9 times out of 10, the very thing you're pointing out in the other person is precisely what you could work on internally.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the gift is that like, sometimes it's harder, I think, to see something in yourself, but like if you see it in someone else, but in the twin flame dynamic, no, it's probably reflecting something. I mean, I guess, depending on how you look at the world, everything's a reflection. Right. But especially so with the kind of intimacy of the twin flame, if you can learn to take that challenging dynamic that can come up sometimes and be like, what is this showing me?
I know within myself, even when I'm like pointing a finger really hard and like sure that I'm right about something, I've definitely grown the muscle to be able to be like, ooh, okay, I'm feeling really strongly this way. Let me just test out and see if I can like point that finger within and see what's going on within me. And then almost always I'm like, yeah, okay.
Totally.
Stop judging whatever's happening and see if you can choose a loving way to approach it. That's really powerful. Yeah,
and it's surprising how many times you actually can do that, even when it seems impossible, nearly impossible. Right. It's if you open that door to that little bit of possibility that you could surrender to love, oftentimes you find that you can.
4. Feel each other's presence. Twin flames can feel each other's presence. They can sense that they have entered in the same building or space without even complete visual contact. They just know.
What do you think about that one?
Like, I'm thinking just like a few weeks ago when I was like, let's just like take some time to ourselves. I'm gonna go to the store and and do some things. And like, tell me why. And we're like, okay, yeah,
That's
let's
right.
do that. Because we've been just like spending a lot of time together. Look, we live together, work together, do acting class together. Like, we spend a lot of time together. So we were like, let's have a day where we just like go do our own thing. I'm like getting out, get some coffee. I go to Target. Tell me why I walk out of Target and literally like the moment that I walk out, her car just goes.
And I didn't see him, so then
right
I park, and all of a sudden, why
and
do
I
I
just-
see him walking up to my car in my rear view? And I'm like, Jesus, man, like. It is. I think that's how I would describe it. It's like a magnetism. It's like this pull that just always, we'll always find our way to each other. And yeah, I mean, I definitely can feel your energy for sure. I mean, that just kind of feels like a given.
Yeah.
You have a signature, like an energy signature that I just know. But I think most relationships, you can tell that your parents, your siblings, like you can just when they're around. That's another one of those like innate human things that I think we all have.
5. Pick up each other's emotions and feelings. Twin flames can
been
also
over this.
receive the other twin's emotions and feelings. This is because their soul frequency is identical to one another. It is vital that the other twin tries to be as happy and full of love as they can be, so that way it can be true to the other twin as well.
Going back to that, the way that it challenges your own personal growth and your personal work, because it's like, I don't want to be affecting you. It affects our dynamic if one or...
Well, I think the thing that she just said was one of the best things so far about really focusing on your joy.
Yes.
I think with all the shifts and changes that have been going on, that inspired us to make our own internal commitments and to like certain practices. Like I've been, both of us been doing the Kundalini yoga, doing meditative practices and things that we could do to keep our emotional state in a good place.
Yeah, exercise every day.
And that's absolutely affected the way that we've been interacting with each other.
The best gift you can offer to your twin flame is following your joy, living in your highest state of joy.
Yes.
Because when you do, they just totally feel it. They feed off of it. It jazzes them up.
It'll be
energizes them.
inspirational to your twin to want to do the same. Anytime that Hamilton starts to really commit to his own inner growth, it inspires me.
6. Mental communication. Even when they are apart, they can communicate with each other mentally. This also applies to when their twin flame is not on the planet as well. 7.
Whoa. Yeah, so we were able to communicate across the world. Other planetary communication, that's pretty dope.
I think they're referring to like if you have a twin that's not incarnated. Some people say that can be a thing where like, you don't have one twin isn't incarnated on the planet, and some people say they still connect with them. It's an interesting idea. I don't know a lot about that, so I can't speak to it, but I definitely believe that that's a possibility. The mental communication. There's definitely times where I feel like I've picked up on how Hamilton's feeling, especially it seems to be especially if it's like distress or anything like that. Like times we've been apart, I've called and been like, "Are you okay? Like, how are you feeling?" And you might have said, "Oh yeah, I've been feeling kind of wonky lately," or we've been able to identify that in each other.
Yeah, I think that's true.
7. Receive messages through intuition. A lot of the times when twin flames are scared, they may give off false signals by telling their other twin negative things through speech or actions. It is important that the other twin listens to the messages that are being sent through their intuition, because twin flames can receive important messages. The exchange of soul energy between the two cannot be hidden, and it will show how the other really feels towards them.
Yeah.
When we are able to hold unconditional love in our hearts and just allow this beautiful telepathic connection to flow through our lives, then we are fully able to connect to ourselves and the higher source itself. Communication between human beings in the higher realms is what brings love back to Earth. Everyone has the ability, but may have forgotten it through incarnations. It is a lesson in growth that we just need to set our ego aside and hear the messages from our Creator. It is very important for twin flame lovers to work on the conscious flow of cosmic love from our hearts, for it is this energy flow from the heart chakra that connects our twin flame connection. When we express the unconditional love for each other and allow the beautiful telepathic energy to flow through our lives, then we are truly able to connect to ourselves and to Source itself.
I really like that because it speaks to something that like has happened many times with us, but even recently I remember we had an argument and I just had this moment and I was like, this is so stupid. I just was like, we know what the truth is. Like in our heart center, we know what that truth is and what it feels like. And then we're just playing games if we're not emanating that. And not to say that we're always going to be perfect at it, because we won't. But it just, in that moment, it just hit me as silly. I was like, this is like this game we're playing, but we know the truth. And I think anytime that we've connected like from our hearts when one or the other person was in a tough space, we've had like very quick resolutions.
Yeah, that's really deep. You always have these moments that are opportunities to choose love, to choose opening your heart instead of getting defensive, instead of, even if somebody's like saying something mean or nasty or something, it's like when we get upset or angry or in our emotions, we say things that we don't mean. Like everybody says things that they don't mean when they're just kind of like blinded by their crappy emotions, you know.
And when you can like, sorry, go ahead.
But to know that and know that like, oh, I do that sometimes too, and be able to listen and see through what the person is saying and feel into what they're actually feeling and what they're actually needing, you know, like sometimes.
And also not personalizing it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that I feel like I've improved, and I think you've improved, is if you're feeling, you know, if you're in an emotional state or you're angry or upset or whatever, I used to personalize all of it and make it like all about me and like, you know, some kind of issue. But so now in our like growth, I feel like it's easier for me to recognize like, oh, like this is how he's feeling. He's having a challenge. Like that doesn't have to mean anything about me. And that doesn't, it's actually more powerful if I can show up in my heart for him and just be present for him, rather than kind of getting wound up in that emotional ball with you. And I think the times that we've done that for each other, we've like really been able to help each other out, which is another part of the twin flame.
Yeah, I agree. And I think both of us have done that at different moments where like maybe in the middle of an argument or something, like you just stop talking and just like give the other person a hug and like, and it really does just kind of melt away, like the tension, you sort of forget what the hell you're even mad about or arguing about, and be like, oh, actually, I was just sad and I needed a hug. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like...
And I saw a quote that I really liked that someone wrote that said, twin flame journey isn't about love, it's about truth. And while I feel that it is about love too. But that kind of, I thought that was kind of beautiful, because the truth of the twin flame connection is always there. That shared soul, you can deny it, you can look away from it, you can cut yourself off from it, but it doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah. And the whole journey is like coming into that truth, much like on the spiritual journey, coming into the truth of your divinity or your creative power. Yeah. As a co-creator, like it feels the same. And I thought that was just a really beautiful way to explain a twin flame dynamic.
I think so too. I agree.
That was a nice video. I think it hit on a lot of truths for us. Mm-hmm. And let us know if you want to see more reaction videos. And if so, tell us what videos we should react to. It doesn't have to be about twin flames, but any topic you would like to hear us give our 2 cents on, maybe even our 3 cents on. let us know. And please, as always, like this video, subscribe to our channel, help us grow, help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers so we can look back at this one day when we have 100,000 and say, remember when.
Yeah, and comment below if you've had any interesting telepathic experiences with your twin flame. Let us know what happened, what your experience was, because it's cool stuff.
It is. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.